Okay, so what I'm here to talk to you today about is simplifying athlete nutrition, okay? Some big issues we're going to have right now are a lot of athletes are misguided and misinformed, which is going to make nutrition a lot harder than it has to be. So what I'm here to do for our high school, youth, college, pro athletes is we need to simplify it, okay? A lot of times, all these athletes, they have way too much to worry about, let alone putting their nutrition on top of it. Yes, nutrition is very important, but a lot of times it's kind of put on the back burner, and it's something that we need to start thinking about a little more because it can have a huge impact on our performance. Those who optimize nutrition are going to be optimizing their performance. Yes, you can get away with eating bad, not eating the right way, not eating the right amounts of food, maybe eating too much and still be able to perform, but you're never really going to understand how you're going to optimize your performance if you've never optimized your nutrition. So with that being said, when we start eating the right way, what's going to happen is our body's going to start working differently than it's ever worked before. We're going to start feeling a little better. And we're going to start playing a little better. All those things are going to correlate to you being a better athlete. So it's time to start thinking about optimizing your nutrition so you can optimize your performance and play to your highest ability. Again, if you want to start getting here, right, if you want to start winning championships, you want to start being MVPs, you want to start playing well, you have to start here. We have to start eating the right amount of food, drinking the right amount of water. We want to make sure we're doing things right by our own bodies. Okay, what I want you to do is now think about the way you're eating right now. Think about what you had for breakfast. Think about what you had for lunch. Think about what you had for dinner. Maybe you had a couple snacks throughout the day. Maybe think back to the weekend you just had. Think about maybe like what you just ate before a tournament, before a game. Is what you ate maybe hurting you? Maybe not, right? We can, like I said before, you can get by with eating pretty much bad food for you, right? You can get by. You're not going to optimize. That's one of the things. Is it helping you? Is your nutrition actually helping you? It may not be hurting you, but at the end of the day, it's not helping you, which is something you're going to have to start looking towards. Right now, you could probably stop watching this video after I explain this slide. Just simple ways to start improving your own nutrition. I get this question a lot. Start having consistent protein. A lot of times, especially with high school athletes I deal with, they don't get enough protein at breakfast, they don't get enough at lunch, then they pack it all in at dinner. Our body needs consistent protein intake to make sure we're actually getting that muscle synthesis, making sure that we're able actually to rebuild and repair muscle, which is going to be extremely important for our athletes. Most of the times, athletes are going to start skipping breakfast because they don't have time. Okay, we always make time. There's always something you could have at that breakfast time than nothing. This is probably more towards like the female population, or even our athletes, our male athletes as well. Protein shakes aren't just going to be the one thing that's going to help you get bigger, right? Just because you have one protein shake a day isn't going to make you bigger. Whether you're a male or female athlete, that's not what we should start be thinking. Protein shakes are a quick little easy fix to make sure you're getting a little bit of protein in. It's fast digesting and getting it in right away. You could have protein shakes after dinner. You could have protein shakes for breakfast, protein shakes after your workouts, but again, those aren't going to be the things that start making you get bigger, gain weight, build that lean body mass, drop that fat mass. It's going to be the whole entire nutrition plan itself, not just the one protein shake. And again, just start eating higher quality foods, eating a lean protein, eat some smarter carbs, eat healthier fat. Right now, you could take this and you could start improving your own nutrition right now, but we're going to dive in a little deeper. So what to look for in your own nutrition is find the weak link. Think about the things we just talked about, right? When's the last time you ate a good breakfast? When's the last time you had protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Think about those things, okay? Those are going to be your weak links. Work to improve those. Don't try to fix everything with supplements, okay? If you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, taking a multivitamin isn't going to help you. If you're not eating protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just one protein shake a day isn't going to help you. Supplements aren't going to be the answer. You want to think real food first, supplements second. Supplements are exactly that. They supplement a good diet. If your diet isn't well, then the supplements aren't going to help right now anyway. Listen, food is our friend, okay? A lot of times people are afraid of food. People think eating too much food is going to make you fat. Not eating less food is going to be better for you. Food is our friend, okay? Food is fuel. Food is fuel. We want to make sure that we're fueling our bodies. Okay, I get this question a lot too. What should I eat? Okay, types of food you always shouldn't eat. We want to eat whole, minimally processed foods. Okay, no white bread, no snacks, no candy, no chips. Just cut the crap out. That's a lot of times when people go, "Oh, I went keto, I lost so much weight." you lost all that weight really mainly because you cleaned up your diet. You cleaned up and you got rid of all that processed crap food you've been eating pretty much your whole life. You can still eat carbs and lose weight, but they have to be that whole minimally processed food. You want to eat foods that you enjoy, okay? You shouldn't think of all this as a diet where, oh, I got to eat chicken and rice and broccoli. Yuck. There's other foods you can eat to make sure you're eating healthy. Real food is real food, right? People think diet food. Just because it's not a bag of chips and doesn't mean it's bad for you. We want to make sure that we're eating foods we enjoy, but they also should be healthier in nature. We don't want to be afraid of chicken and you just want to be eating chips all the time either. Also, you got to eat foods that are accessible, right? A lot of times we spend a lot of money on other things. You got to eat within your budget. I'm not going to sit here and tell you need to always eat organic, grass-fed, all that stuff. Sometimes we just can't afford it. But again, if you're sticking to that real food first motto, if you're just going to eat meat, you're going to eat vegetables, you're going to eat stuff that came from the ground, you're going to be in a better spot. Okay, listen, proper nutrition allows you to rebuild and repair muscle, okay? When you play, when you train, when you do anything, you're breaking down your muscles. You're actually not getting bigger in the gym. You get bigger by the way you recover, okay? And proper nutrition allows you to recover faster, okay? If you're hurt, you're beat up, you're sore, probably because you didn't eat enough the day before, you're not eating enough that day. Your body's sending you a signal to say, hey man, like, we need some more fuel here, we need to repair you. There's a lot of times, like, we need to make sure we're eating to repair, rebuild, and recover. Also, proper nutrition allows us to look and feel better. Right off the bat, you start eating better, you're going to look better, you're going to feel better, you're going to notice a difference in your day-to-day life and also just how you're playing. Real quick, I want to cover the different type of macronutrients, right? Protein, carbs, healthy fat. All of these play a certain role in our body. We need to make sure we're getting enough of each of them. Which types you need more of is going to depend on your body type and your goals. All right, so protein. Protein helps us build muscle. It helps us recover. Improves fullness and fat loss, okay? When that being said, protein has amino acids. Those are going to be the building blocks of protein. That's going to really jumpstart that recovery process. That's what's going to help you build muscle by recovering more. Protein is going to keep you feeling fuller longer because it takes a little longer to digest. So eating a little more protein in your diet is one, it's going to make you feel more full. So now maybe you don't eat all the mac and cheese on your plate anymore because you're focusing more on the protein. That's going to be something that's going to help a lot of people start losing weight. Also, we burn some calories digesting protein because it takes a little bit longer for our body to do it. It requires more energy to digest and to actually use, so we burn a little bit of calories, but at the end of the day, you're going to get more of that fat loss and lean body mass because of the fact that protein is going to rebuild your muscles and it's also going to make you feel fuller longer. Athletes need more protein, okay? We break down a lot of muscle. We need to stay healthy and rebuild that muscle. If you can't stay on the field, you're useless to yourself and to your team. We need to perform, okay? The most important part is that you can perform day in and day out. Okay, all the different types of protein, lean meats, ground beef over 90%, skinless chicken breast, okay? None of the fried stuff. Ground turkey, eggs, fish, okay? All of that stuff right here is going to be what's important in your diet. We need to get ample amounts of each. Also, we don't want to be eating the same thing all the time. You have to make sure you're changing up your diet. You're including different foods. How much protein to keep it simple? Depending on your type of person, 10 to 35% of your diet should be from protein. Most of us should be on the higher end, okay? Most athletes should not be on this 10% unless you have a medical condition. Otherwise, you should be anywhere from 25 to 35%. Okay? Use your palms, right? Create a fist. 1 to 2 palms at every meal of the day is going to be what's going to help you stay consistent with your protein intake. Okay? So, again, the length and the width, that's what you're going to use for 1 to 2 palm sizes. Okay? Carbs. It's your body's main source of fuel. It is the gas to your engine, okay? We need them. We need carbs to make sure we're able to perform day in and day out, to make sure we're fueled and ready to go, whether it's practice, a game, or a training session. Okay, carbs have an effect on our bodies. It has an effect on your immune system. It has an effect on your body composition. Okay, hormone production. All these things are going to tie in together to make sure our body's working properly. Sometimes when we cut carbs out for too long or we're not getting enough, some of us will have negative health effects. Okay, we have to make sure that we're fueling our body properly. Carbs are going to be a main source, especially for all of our athletes. Okay, metabolic function as well. The different types of carbs. We want to really, this is the one where the whole minimally processed food is going to be key for most of you. Fruits and vegetables, okay? Those are, especially people that maybe want to think about fat loss a little more. If you get a majority of your carbs from fruits and vegetables, you're on the right track, okay? A little bit of whole grains, mainly fruits and vegetables for my athletes that are looking to maybe drop a little fat. My athletes that are trying to gain a little bit of weight, fruits and vegetables, yes, they're great for you. You are going to have to keep them to the bare minimum because of the fact that they're going to make you feel fuller longer. It's going to make it a lot harder for you to eat the protein. It's going to make it a lot harder to eat the carbs and eat the fat that's needed for you to grow and actually build muscle and gain weight. So yes, you still need fruits and vegetables, but at the end of the day, you need them for the health benefits. For the most part, you're going to want to focus on all these other things. Sweet or white potatoes, both of them are fine. Again, mix it up, get both of them in your diet. Whole grains, quinoa, rice, buckwheat, oats, and whole grain to whole wheat bread. Again, not your best choice, but not your worst choice. So we always want to think best, worst choice with a lot of this stuff too. If you have a choice between like a whole wheat bagel or a regular bagel, might make sense to get the whole wheat bagel. It's a little better for you. Our body digests it a little better. Okay, and how much? Again, we're sticking to our hands. 35 to 50% of your total diet should be from carbs, which means if you're an athlete that's trying to gain weight, half of your plate should be in carbs. And if you're an athlete that's trying to lose a little bit of weight, just drop the carbs a little bit. Don't drop them completely because, again, you still need them to perform. Okay, sorry. Come back here. 1 second. Okay, 1 to 2 cup of handfuls at every meal. So, again, if you're going to eat 4 meals, you should be having 4 to 8 cups of carbs. For the main athletes that want to gain some weight, I'm going to suggest 8 to 10. For athletes that want to maybe drop a little bit of fat, I'm going to suggest about 3 to 4, giving you about a handful of carbs at every meal. All right, healthy fats and its role in the body. Fat provides us with energy. Fat also helps us balance our hormones. If our hormones are out of whack, we can't build muscle, we can't burn fat. Fat has also been shown to increase focus. It helps cognitive function. Okay, it's going to be important if you have to focus, whether it's at school, work, or on the field. We all need to focus to some extent. Limiting fat in our diet is going to play a negative role in that. Okay, fat gets a bad rap. Makes our cholesterol too high. Okay, our body produces its own cholesterol. So when everyone stopped eating the yolk and the eggs because our cholesterol was getting too high, sometimes if we start taking that stuff out, it's actually going to jumpstart your cholesterol because of the fact your body has to now produce its own, which is going to increase it. It's going to make your cholesterol too high. At a young age, if you start implementing healthy habits now, you should hopefully limit those problems down the line. So again, eating a good source of fat right now is what's going to be key in your own diet. Okay, eating fat makes you fat? Yes. Eating too much fat can make you fat. Fat, it has the most calories in it. So think of like a food label, right? If something says it has 10 grams of protein and 10 grams of carbs, that's going to be 40 calories, okay? There's 4 calories to every gram for a protein and a carb. If there is 10 grams of fat, it's going to be 90 calories. Okay, so that's why fat can get a bad rap. If you're eating a good amount of carbs and a good amount of protein and you're overeating on fat, yes, you will gain weight because of the excess calories. You have to be careful with fat, okay? Overeating fat will increase weight, but overeating anything will increase your own weight, okay? So just understanding that fat has more calories in it, it's going to help you limit the unnecessary weight gain. Okay, types of fat you're going to want to stick to: saturated fats, coconut oil, dairy. About 10% of your diet should be from that, okay? We're finding that too much saturated fat can have some, again, negative effects. Overeating anything is bad for you. Keeping the saturated fats a little lower. You're going to want to get a majority of your healthy fat from unsaturated fat, and that's going to be nuts, nut butter, avocados, egg yolk, okay? Chia seeds, on olive oils. Also, we're going to get a lot of like our fattier cuts of meat is going to have more of that unsaturated fat. So again, including that in your diet as well. How much? Okay, 10 to 35% of your diet should be from fat. If you're someone lower on carbs, you're going to want to go to that higher end of fat. If you're someone higher on carbs, you're going to want to go to the low end of fat. But again, you're still going to need, as an athlete, I'm going to say between 15 and 25% of your diet should be from carbs. if you're a weight gain. If you're a fat loss, you want to be towards that higher end. And again, we talked about with protein and carbs, you use palms for protein and cupped handfuls for carbs. We use thumbs for fat because, again, remember, the fat is so calorie dense, you're going to need to make sure that you're staying on top of that. So again, 1 to 2 thumbs per meal. If you're someone trying to gain weight, 1 thumb, because you're going to want a majority of your calories from carbs. If you're someone on the fat loss end, 2 thumbs. Okay, different types of micronutrients, vitamins and minerals, those are going to play a huge role in your diet, okay? We need to make sure we're getting a variety of foods, okay? Variety of protein, variety of fat, variety of carbs, variety of fruits and vegetables. The micro is going to build the macro. If you are deficient in certain vitamins and minerals, it's going to have an effect on the way your body now uses the protein, carbs, and the fat, okay? So yes, that's why I said my weight gain athletes, you still need some sort of fruits and vegetables. You still need to eat a variety of food to make sure your body's working properly, to make sure that the protein, the fat, and the carbs work the way they should. So when we start getting deficient in those things, it doesn't have a negative effect on your energy, but it does have a negative effect on the way your body uses all of these macronutrients. So make sure you're staying on top of that. Just eating a variety of foods, okay? Try not to eat the same things over and over again. Eat different colors, eat different cuts of meat. Okay, hydration is very important. Sometimes it's very overlooked, okay? I look at a lot of food logs, a lot of iced tea and soda, okay? Not enough water, it's undervalued, and it's underappreciated. Okay, how much should we really drink? You should be drinking at least half your body weight in ounces, okay? So if you're not training one day, you're gonna wanna stick to half your body weight. If you're training, if you're playing, you're gonna wanna add at least another 20 ounces of body weight, of water. So if you're 200 pounds, you need to be drinking 100 ounces of water. And also if you're training that day and doing a lot of intense activities, maybe it's a little hot, you have to add some more water to that. So we should always be looking at half our body weight plus 20. Okay? Our body works better when it's properly hydrated. Our body is made up of 55 to 60% of water. So again, that's going to be pretty important to make sure that we're getting enough water. And also as little as a 1% decrease in hydration, so 1% decrease in dehydration, can have a negative impact on your performance, okay? It can start hindering your performance. The importance of fruits and vegetables, again, the micro leads the macro. It is a source of carbs for my fat loss clients, and it's going to keep you feeling fuller longer, which again is going to be important for all of our athletes. We want to make sure that we're feeling fuller longer, we have energy for a longer period of time. Okay, eat all of them, eat a variety. If you're a picky food eater, try one a week. Okay, try one different fruit or vegetable once a week. Okay, again, now how do you apply all of this? That's going to be one of the more difficult parts, but again, if you think of simplifying, if you think of eating real foods, it's always going to make everything a little easier. So again, that's all really going to depend on what your goals, what time of the year it is. I mean, I've started dealing with athletes that have like religious beliefs. They can't eat certain things on certain days of the week, at certain times of the year. What can you afford, and do you have any allergies? So that's why it's very difficult when someone comes up to you and goes, hey man, what should I eat? There's a lot of things you have to look at to make sure you understand what to eat. Okay, what do you like? What don't you like? Those are going to be big factors in deciding like what you can actually sit down and eat. Also, like what have you been eating before? If you're someone that's only eating 1,200 calories and you're afraid of gaining weight, I can't bump you to 2,000. It's got to be a slow little increase. So again, it always depends. But again, if you look at yourself, you look at your weak links, you look at your limiting factors and start improving them, you're going to improve your overall nutrition. You're going to improve your body composition. You're going to improve the way you perform on and off the field. Okay, there is no one answer. Everyone's different. Each person has different needs. Food is very individual. How everyone digests food differently. Everyone enjoys food differently. Everyone eats food a little differently. Sometimes we eat it in 10 minutes, sometimes we eat it in 15 minutes. Everything's going to vary. That's why each person is so different. You should never be copying someone else's nutrition program. Just because it worked for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Just because someone went keto or someone started carb loading doesn't mean that's the right fit for you. You can try those things, okay? And I'm all for trying. I'm a big trial and error guy. We have to make sure that we're doing the right things, okay? Try something, see if it works, see how you can readjust from there. Okay, but you know what? Here's some templates you can use to get started. If you're someone who's trying to maintain weight, okay, you're going to want to keep everything pretty simple, okay, pretty equal. You're going to want to have about 30% of your food from fat, 30% of your food from protein, 40% of food from your carbs. That should pretty much be what your plate looks like. Okay, remember, you're going to want fruits and vegetables in this carb portion as well. You're going to eat 3 to 4 times a day. Your plate should mainly look like this. Okay? If you're looking to gain weight, you're going to want to keep protein pretty much should stay consistent throughout. It's going to vary a little bit between like 30 and 40%. But again, protein should stay consistent no matter what. You're going to want to eat a little less fat and a little more carbs. Okay? If you're trying to gain weight, just think of that. A little less fat, a little more carbs. If you're trying to lose a little bit of weight, like I said, protein's going to go up a little bit, fat's going to be about 35%, and your carbs are going to be a little lower. Now, if you're someone trying to lose weight, remember what we talked about, you're going to want to keep a majority of your carbs and fruits and vegetables with a little bit of whole grains. Okay, again, we talked about supplements, real food first. Okay, no matter what, real food first. It's what I recommend for everybody. Let's try getting better food in there, better quality food, actual food, not just junk food or all this quote unquote health food. Eat real food, see what happens then. There's no magic pill. Okay, there's not a magic pill that's going to help you gain weight, lose weight. It's consistency with everything. Supplements from our athletes when we start getting into the preseason and the in-season, especially the in-season, when it gets a lot harder, when you're on the road a lot to get your fruits and vegetables, when it becomes difficult to get your different kinds of meats, carbs, and fat, then maybe yes, look to a fish oil, look to a multivitamin, start drinking a little more protein shakes, because again, now your body has been so used to the off season of you hammering home proper nutrition that when we get to the in season, you're going to want to make sure you're still giving your body what it needs. So supplements during the preseason and the in season period are going to be a little more important than the off season. Okay. Like I just said, there is no magic pill, supplement, or food. Okay? There's no magic food that's going to help you gain weight. There's no magic food that's going to help you lose weight. It all comes down to one thing, and that one thing is consistency. Okay? If you're not consistent with your training, if you're not consistent with your practice, if you're not consistent with your nutrition, nothing's ever going to work. Okay? You have to stick to something for more than a day, for more than a week, for more than 2 weeks. Try something for a month. See what happens. Then go from there. Readjust. You were on a strength training program. You didn't really gain much weight. You're really getting stronger. Look to see what you just did and then build on it. Try something new. Same thing with nutrition. You gave it a month. You gave it 6 weeks. You didn't really lose any weight. All right, let's take a look at the food log. Let's take a look at what you've been doing, and then we can go from there. Those are always going to be important things. This is going to triumph over anything, okay? No matter what you do, you have to do it consistently. It's the only way anything's ever going to work. Okay, it doesn't matter your goal. Being consistent will be the reason you achieve it. Okay, if you have any questions, I have some blog posts up at CoachKyleAnderson.com. Also, I try to keep my Instagram pretty handy. Instagram at Coach Kyle Anderson as well. All right, sorry about the .com. I try to post as much here as I can. If you have any questions, please shoot me a DM. I have email addresses here. I'd be happy to help.